Welcome to our tutorial on understanding the Human-Machine Interface, or HMI, programming tool for our door operator products. In this tutorial, you'll learn how to set various presets for door transition speeds and stop points, and monitor inputs and outputs for troubleshooting. We will primarily be covering the standard operator here, but the information in this tutorial is relevant to all other operators as well. To connect the HMI to the operator, plug in the green 8-pin connector to the top of the HMI, and the other end will plug into the operator either directly to the PLC or to the now discontinued side port on the operator if applicable. Once powered up and loaded, this is the HMI screen you will see. We will be selecting the standard option. Next, we will choose the applicable option based on the operator's serial number. In most cases, we will be selecting the F-Series and above unless it is a very old legacy product. Once you tap the applicable option, you'll be presented with this first preset screen. Notice the first setting has 3 labels, as the value is used for 3 different operator types. Auto Close Enable, or ACE, which is used for standard operators, Push and Go, which is used for low energy operators, and Full Close, which is used for sliding door operators. Auto Close Enable is the value at which the operator will reclose the door if an external force such as stack pressure, hinge bind, or an out-of-balance frame causes the door to float open after a full close cycle has finished. This value should be set approximately 20 to 30 points above the hard closed value position with the door against the frame and all backlash removed after a full close cycle. Push and Go is the value in which the operator will open the door when it is pushed to this set value. Full Close is where a slider will shut off during a close cycle. Latch Check is the value at which the operator will transition from close speed to check speed for final close routine. Partial Inhibit is the value where the operator will stop in a partially open position if an input is installed for that function. The door position at the bottom of most screens is the real-time door position value that displays where the operator is and is relative to each of the door position presets. Pressing Next will bring you to the second page of presets. Backcheck is the value in which the operator will transition from opening speed to check speed during the opening cycle, and Full Open is the setting at which the operator will shut off at the end of the full open cycle. The delay time is an adjustable timer to allow the door to transition from opening to closing cycle and vice versa in the event of entrapment, or an input to reverse the direction of the door while in motion. The hold open delay timer next to the letter I is an adjustable timer to automatically close the door after a certain amount of time and is disabled by default on standard operators with a value of 301. If it is desired that the door automatically close after a time, this value can be set from 1 to 300 seconds. It is set to a value of 5 seconds on low energy operators. This value can also be used for the optional last man out function. Pressing the back button until we're back to the main screen, we can now tap I/O Diagnostics. Tapping Inputs will display this screen. The buttons on the left side allow you to control the door directly from the HMI. The round lamps on the right side are indicators that the PLC is receiving an input. This allows you to monitor whether or not the operator is receiving an input from an activation plate or sensor without having to remove the cover of the operator and check the PLC itself. For example, if the operator is being given a signal to open via an activation input, the round lamp next to the open will darken. The next page has additional inputs. Pressing back to the diagnostics page and pressing the outputs button, or pressing outputs from within the inputs page, will get us to the PLC output monitoring. Similar to the inputs page, when the PLC is sending an output, the lamp on the outputs page will darken, as shown. On the diagnostics page, there's also a cycle times button we can tap to get into a list of convenient timers to monitor while setting up the door speed to proper ANSI speeds. If any of the door operator presets need to be adjusted for any reason, it's as simple as going to the preset you need to adjust. Tap on the number, and a numbered keyboard will display. Enter the new number, and set it by tapping the bent arrow at the bottom right. If you don't wish to change anything, just tap the escape key at the upper right. A word on the full open preset. The default value from the factory is set lower than what would normally be 90 degrees of door swing. This is to prevent the door from hitting a floor stop or a door handle from running into a wall. On a new installation, this preset may need to be increased to achieve a full 90-degree door swing. A good rule of thumb is to adjust in 30-point increments. The real-time door position value should always be increasing when the door is opening and decreasing when it's closing. When adjusting door position preset values, if you want a transition to happen sooner while opening, then you would lower the value. Similarly, if you would like it to happen later, you would increase the preset value. On the closing cycle, it would be the opposite. As an example, if you wanted an opening door to go into back check speed sooner, you would lower the back check value, and if you wanted it to go into back check later, you would increase the back check value. Keep in mind, these preset values are when the PLC sends the signal to the motor control. They are not an exact position of where the transition ends. In other words, if you have a door that's opening too far, you would lower the full open value to a set amount. The value you set is where the deceleration begins. It will not stop at the exact value that it is set to. Please keep this in mind when making adjustments. One final note: the check speeds are relative to end of travel set points. In other words, back check must be set some value below full open, and latch check must be set some value above auto close enable. A good rule of thumb is a 300 to 400 point difference between those values. The wider the gap will allow for more check speed adjustability. This concludes this training video on this device. Please be sure to watch the other videos in this series that cover the other components of our door operator system. If you have any further questions regarding this or any other components, please contact our tech support line at 860-283-6211. Thanks for watching.